We are live Friday. Thanks everyone for spending your Friday evening with us. We are going to take this topic that we've tackled a little bit in the past about, what is happiness? What is this all happiness thing about?
Mm.
Um, and so we're going to try to tackle this a little bit and find if there's correlation, whether it's even worth trying to be happy and what does that look like, and one man's happiness is another person's bitterness. So we're gonna try to tackle it. So join us and ask questions and put in your comment. And if you want to join us, let us know. I can put a link here. You can be, guest as well, and then take it from there. The first question is this: is there a strong correlation between wealth and happiness? So what I mean by that is, wealthy countries a little bit more happier. Wealthy individuals a little bit more happy. Do they have certain happiness compared to the general public or people who are less fortunate? Is there any correlation? And if there's no correlation, then what the heck trying to be wealthy, right? If you are poor, you're unhappy. You are wealthy, you're unhappy. Then what is the point? Why are we busting our butt every day, getting up and trying to move up the ladder and improve our lifestyle and able to help other people? What is all this about? So, is there any strong correlation between wealth and happiness? What do you think?
I, I I wouldn't put a correlation between the two because I've seen some miserable rich people. Um,
Okay.
I've seen people. They're like, you can tell that they have it, right? They have
Mm-hmm.
money, but like they can't even smile. You got
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
they can't even smile. So what's all that money? Like you have all this money, but you always have this, frown on your or scowl on your face.
Okay.
So I wouldn't put a correlation to it. Um,
Great points.
it's easy for someone who doesn't have, right, to look at someone who has and have this false perception that the person is happy, right?
Okay.
Because you are saying that maybe if I had
Good
that,
point.
I might be a little happier than I am now, right?
Okay.
But there are people who have it and have sleepless nights, right? Because
Okay.
for whatever
Great
reason,
points.
right?
Okay.
Like, and then you have someone who is not wealthy but sleeps like a
Mm-hmm.
baby, right?
Okay.
Because they kind of found a way to be content, knowing that I cannot do more than I'm doing right now, right? I'm giving it everything I have. Like this is my capacity, right? Imagine someone who is, and this is a stretch, but imagine someone who is wheelchair bound, has been for all his life,
Mm-hmm.
right? He might see someone who is running across the street, right, and
Mm-hmm.
say, "Man, I wish," right?
Correct.
But you don't know why that person is running. Maybe they're running away from something, right?
Okay.
It's
Good
so
point.
I wouldn't put a strong correlation. I'll say, wealth can bring you some sense of happiness, right? Wealth can,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
um and in all honesty, I don't think you need a whole lot of money to have that feeling, right? So
Okay.
I don't know
Great
if,
points.
yeah, so I wouldn't say there's a strong correlation between the two of them.
So then the question I have for you is this. I think most people, when given the choice, if
Hmm.
if you have to tell them, okay, you have the ability to be wealthy, would
Hmm.
would you take the option?
Hmm.
I think most people will say yes. Now the question becomes, is it the wealth that is making the person unhappy, or like, okay, for example, if if you're unhappy person, if you are not unhappy person, if
Hmm.
you're not a happy person,
Hmm.
then having wealth, I don't think is going to change the underlying thing very
Hmm.
much, right?
Hmm. Exactly.
Uh, you know, it might change certain things. Like for example, if you don't have sleep, and then all of a sudden you get an apartment, okay, there's some level of comfort.
Hmm.
You feel safe a little bit than to be on the street.
Hmm.
But if the underlying issues is deeper than that,
Hmm.
then you can buy yourself out of it with material possession, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So then the question becomes, is it the money that makes the person unhappy, or the person already is unhappy and then they had the money, then it still didn't solve the underlying issue, right?
Hmm.
So because I think like sometimes the way I look at it sometimes is this, right? I think so. Then there's another question for you. Do you think there are more unhappy wealthy people than unhappy poor people?
I that's a tough one to answer, Tony. Um, and I'll go back to the, like looking at it from someone else's perspective, right? We all have this perception, right, that okay, um, if I have, maybe I can, right? If I have
Mm-hmm.
more, maybe I can more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Good point.
but I think it's difficult to put, that to answer that question on the face value,
Mm-hmm.
because like you mentioned earlier, there are some people, regardless of how much money they have, right? They
Mm-hmm.
like their face won't change, right?
Yep.
Because it's not
Yep.
who they are, right? It's
Great
it, it's
points.
something it's something inner, like deeper,
Yep. Yep.
that like, you know yeah, they might fake a smile, but it goes away quickly,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you have people who don't have anything,
Yep.
right? But they're always
Yep.
smiling, right? And that
Yep.
smile, a lot of them, it's not fake, right? It's not like, oh, I saw you,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm cheesing. No, it's just genuine smile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you
Mm-hmm.
this person is inherently
Good point.
happy, regardless of, circumstances, right?
Yep.
Because they might be looking at it at, oh, you know, I might not have a lot, but I have
Mm-hmm.
better than someone else, so I'm content,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? It's
Mm-hmm.
difficult to put a number on it, but there are names that I can mention, and you would agree. We see them in pictures all the time, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
don't look like, just on the face, they don't look like they're happy people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett, for
Mm-hmm.
example, I don't think I see him
Mm-hmm.
smile a lot. You get what I'm saying? And it's like he takes
Mm-hmm.
a lot of pictures, but he always has this stoic, pretty much
Good
stoic
point.
face, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have someone else who's just,
Mm-hmm.
working a 9 to 5 and some extra hours, right? You know, check her at the grocery store, for example, and they're always happy.
Yeah.
you know, so
Because they smile. So
no, and see, no, my thing is this: you can tell when
yeah.
someone is faking a smile, right? Because it comes
Correct.
on and goes away. But there are some people you can tell they smile a lot, and like they have the lines to prove that they smile a lot. you know,
Yeah.
so I
So
don't know.
so
It's a
another
tough one.
question. Yeah. So another question to you, because sometimes when you are content, right? So when you are content, I mean, you can tell your brain anything, right?
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
convince yourself anything.
Hmm.
But sometimes I also think too, there are people in the world. Thank God for wealthy people
Hmm.
because they created opportunity
Hmm.
for a lot of people
Hmm.
to be able to earn a living, right?
Yeah.
But they carry a burden. Maybe they trade their happiness thing, right,
Hmm.
for much greater sacrifice,
Hmm.
right, against their own personal thing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And maybe the greater they became, they also lost part of who they are, right? Because um they didn't have the luxury of quote unquote smiling and everything. They looked at life
Hmm.
more like, okay, I got to create this thing. There's this responsibility. I have shareholders, right?
Hmm.
If the thing goes down, I'm in the news, right?
Hmm.
And so yes, materially they might have it, but then maybe they don't even enjoy it
Hmm.
to the level of somebody
Yeah, they might not even have the
who's
time to enjoy it.
and I
Not enough
also think
downtime.
too. One of my mentors used to tell me, he was a high school dropout and a multi-millionaire, and he used to make this statement. He said he used to be so poor that bill collectors would carpool to his house, and sometimes he used to rent this TV and he sold it to the neighbor. So one time they came to pick up the TV. It's like, nah, my neighbor guys is gonna be pissed if you guys could try to. And so, so he used to tell us stories, and he. So one time he was telling a story. He said, guys, he said, they said, they said, money don't make you happy, right? And he said, but how will you know, right?
Mhm,
And so he was like, guys, you should find out for yourself.
mhm,
He said, you kidding me? Do you know how many kids we've been able to send through college? Do you know how many people that we've been able to help?
mhm,
Right. Get out of there, got it in. Do you
mhm,
know how many lives we've changed?
mhm,
Right.
mhm.
And it got me thinking at that time. So I'm saying that money in the hands of good will do good.
Yeah.
Money in the hands of the crazy and the wicked
Mhm.
will do wicked.
Yeah. But but
So
but but not to to like to draw the line there, right? Basically everything you're describing now, when you start
mhm.
doing for others, you're not talking about happiness anymore. It's bigger than that.
Correct. No, yeah, yeah, it's bigger than that. But I think so. So the happiness sometimes may come in is this, and he was teaching us this thing. It's like, uh, you don't even know sometimes the impact, right? And you
Mhm,
don't know, and maybe you are not doing for a direct return right away,
mhm,
but there will be a time that maybe you receive a letter and
mhm,
somebody said, if it wasn't for you,
mhm,
maybe I was thinking about committing suicide, right?
mhm, mhm,
Maybe I was thinking about doing this thing by your help.
mhm.
And when you read that, you're a human being, you feel that you made an impact,
Yeah.
right? It may not be that is what you were doing it for, but it makes you feel like what you did actually, because he will receive letters from people that were thinking about ending it
Mhm,
because they didn't see any way out.
mhm,
And that, and I think if you should receive that, that will make you, that will give you a sense of duty that you also, and that will give you that happiness to whatever it lasts, a week, 2 weeks, whatever, right? That you have mattered.
mhm,
And so he always used to say, listen, give your chance, give yourself a chance, opportunity to be wealthy. And if you hate it and you are miserable,
mhm,
you can give it all out. This is America. You can call you can call places and they will be gladly take these checks, right?
mhm, mhm,
You can go back and stuff like that. But what he was challenging us is that don't look at some people who are dysfunctional and they have wealth
mhm,
and they are in the public
mhm,
and they are disarray.
mhm,
Don't look at it and say it's the money that's making the noise. It's who they are. The
mhm,
money has given them the exposure
mhm,
to amplify their negative,
mhm,
their worst traits they have.
mhm.
But there are other people that are wealthy. They are doing incredible things, and sometimes you don't even know who
You
they
don't
are.
even know who they are.
You don't know who they are. So he was challenging it's not the wealth, it's you, the mindset, the person.
Mhm.
And the money is going to expose you for good or for bad, right? What's going on, boss?
I disagree with that.
What's up,
Okay,
Jay?
go ahead. Go ahead. Take a shot at it.
Because listen, man, when you have money, you can do more things. You know what I'm saying? So if that person had a behavior that was already bad, imagine it being amplified 20 more X times because they have like $100 million. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So if the person didn't have that kind of money, they probably temper down. You know what I'm saying? So money
Think
doesn't.
so?
Yeah, of
He's
course.
a, he's a crackhead. He got money. He gonna stop smoking crack.
No, 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 no. What I'm saying is that if you're a crackhead, you give them more money. They're gonna do even more drugs. They're gonna
Yeah, 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 but that's what I'm saying. Is gonna amplify whatever you are.
exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so if you are a total jerk and you have $1 in your pocket, imagine you have 100 million in your pocket. It's gonna be even worse. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah,
you're
super jerk.
like, you know what I'm saying? So money changes you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when
Yeah,
you start making money, it makes you feel a different way. You start not to see people as on the same level as you. You look down on people. You know, and not everybody, but in a way, you're like you're in a different world. You know, let's be honest with you, different atmosphere.
but is that so? Is that though? Is the money or something that
It's
was
the
there? You
money.
didn't have the money to flex,
No, no, no. It's
right? So
money
now you got it.
because
What do you
money
think?
brings security, and then money gives you power. Listen, man, that money changes you. Like you make a
Okay,
hundred,
look at this, right? Look at you
you make a
see
hundred thousand.
Vitalik.
You make 100,000, and then you
Hmm.
start making $1 million, your lifestyle, everything's gonna change. Majority of the time, people say, "Oh, I'm gonna
Your
get some."
lifestyle is going to change. Yeah. So
Your
no, no. So
attitude,
lifestyle is going to change. We're
your
talking
attitude
about.
on life is
Yeah.
gonna change. You're like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A lot of things are gonna change, man. But at the same time,
Okay.
it wouldn't make you. I don't say money makes you happy. It just makes you comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I think
But if you're comfortable, will you be happy though?
I know people that make a lot of money, make $1 million, are not happy because like after a while it becomes a norm. You know what I'm saying? Like like if you start making make $1 million every year, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be still okay. Like it's something that's a part of normal life, so it's not gonna be anything exciting anymore. It's not, you're gonna lose that excitement until you find something else that you want to do that's gonna make you bring more excitement. Like Jeff Bezos, you see, he's working at Amazon. He didn't have to go do no space anything. He was good, but he got bored. He's like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else because, like, you know, he got all the money in the world, but he's like, dude, like, it's not cutting it anymore. You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah. So,
you want to
but
make money, you know what I'm saying? If you make $150,000 and you make 185,000, man, it's a bump, but it's not gonna make you that much. You know, until you get like 500,000 or 300,000, then you might be happy for that time period. And then at the time it gets old, and you want more and more and more and
so
more.
do you want money or no money?
I'm not, that's extremes. You want on the left and the right. I can be in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, no, no,
no,
no, no, no.
listen,
So no, because the point I'm trying to make is this. The point I'm trying to make, and also when we use Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, and those guys, they're not your average people. These people are trying to change the world, right? That alone comes with tremendous amounts of pressure,
but these people, listen,
right?
these
They're
people,
not your regular. Your regular Joe is trying to pay rent.
these people are
These
bored.
people,
They're bored, and
well,
they
they
make
are,
so much money that they don't even know. Like the money is not no longer doing it for them, so they want they have to do something else to keep going.
so
They
I think
to do. They have so much
I,
money. What's the point? It's not about the money anymore. It's just about
no, I don't think it's about the money anymore. What I'm saying is this: it's like saying that um, Tom Brady got bored after three touchdown, right? Three Super Bowl. You see, these people, which are put like the top 0.001% of the world, is that they are generational changes. They're not your average. You don't get the Warren Buffetts and the Bezos and those kind of people. They come in their life. They're not floating. It's not the average person you meet. And the goals of what they're trying to accomplish is so huge. It is like a lifetime changes. So that comes with, so they are in a different class. So I'll put them like, listen, you don't want their problems. You don't want what they go through. You don't want to know what they, listen, you don't want, you say you might want some of their money, but you wouldn't want their life because there's a burden, right? So those, but I'm thinking about, if you take the superstars out, great superstars out. The average, let's say if somebody's making $1 million, right? $1 million versus somebody making $1 million with a family of three, and somebody making $30,000 for a family of three. Is there any correlation? Everything be equal. Does the people that have $1 million, because they have the resources to maybe know that, okay, I can save for my children, I can put some money in retirement, I can help some family members, I can give more money to charity, I can do those. Do they have the option to be happier, slightly happier, or it wouldn't matter whether it's, wouldn't it
Yeah,
whatever matter?
I think in that
this.
regard, you're looking at comfort, not necessarily happiness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have security. Money gives you security. It doesn't give you happiness. It gives you that
No,
cushion.
no, but if you're secure, you're not happy.
No,
Um,
I think no. Listen,
not yeah. Go ahead, Julian. Take it.
listen. What I'm saying is that you have money, right? What it does is that it gives you security. So like you don't really care. Like if you lose your job tomorrow, you're gonna be good for some time. You know what I'm saying? That's what it does. It's like security. So it makes you feel good. But I
So
know
peace of mind. So that's happy though. If you have peace of
no,
mind, you are
no,
happy.
no, 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 no. It's like okay, I live in a nice neighborhood. I say it's like living in a nice haven neighborhood and knowing that if I leave my door unlocked, I'm gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's security. Money is like security. Like you can go buy yourself a bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, if you're not happy with what you're doing or you're not happy with your life, no matter how much money you have, it's never gonna be enough. Like how many people that have money that do
Yeah,
suicide?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? There's
yeah. But poor people commit suicide more than
okay,
you.
but
Just listen. Sometimes Sometimes I think that I think there's a game going on in this world. Anytime these billionaires come and they say it's not about money, but then they open another company to make more money. But they're telling you that the money is, they're not giving it up though. They're not, I will understand if a billionaire comes and say, no, the money made me so miserable, I'm giving 99.9% out and give it up. That I can respect that.
no, no, no,
But
no.
they tell you that and they keep their money. So my thing is that it is the individual though.
But this is
It
what
is the individual more than the wealth.
this is what I'll say about this. Okay, so you're making the thing about if you had $1 million, a family of three, and then you had a family of three that's making like $65,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And you're saying that the family of three that has $1 million would be considered to be more happy than the family that's making $60,000,
No,
right?
it's not considered. I'm saying they can make certain decisions. Like, okay, for example, where they live, which are increased safety, school options, right? Um, if somebody, like for example, if the wife get pregnant, the wife can afford to stay home. Some people, I'll tell you this, some people work, right? And they don't have this kind of like maternity benefit and stuff like that. They work and 1 month off and they're back at job, man. And I'm telling you, if you marry with your wife to stay home as long as possible with the children. And I can tell you that most women will choose that option.
Totally, but I think you make my point for me. So having that $1 million give you more security, right?
Options, which will increase your happiness.
What?
But Tony, in the same vein, right? You can have,
Mhm.
like, let's use the neighborhood, right, where you live.
Yep.
Example that you used, right? You can be so rich and live in this gated community where
Yep.
everyone is on their own small island, right?
Yep.
Your children will not commingle with anyone else. Imagine you have a soul child. You think your,
Hmm.
your your kid is happy not being able to play in the neighborhood with other kids? You got what
Or
I'm saying?
you want to put them in a gang neighborhood, they can get shot
No,
and
no, no,
soldier.
no, no,
I mean,
no. You see,
you
no, you
can
see,
go.
no. You see, you're going too
No,
far.
no,
The
no. I'm
extreme.
saying is that the
Like,
option. Okay, okay. The point I'm trying to make is this:
mhm,
is the options you are going to. Okay, what the money is going to be able to give you the options. Now,
mhm,
some of the options might be bad options,
yeah,
right?
mhm,
Right. So if because every day we wake up and we go to work, I think like not by choice necessary for most people, because we're trying to make some money to live the life we want, right?
mhm,
And we don't turn races down, we don't turn the bonuses down and that kind of stuff. Most people want them. Most people will probably say they're underpaid. Most people will say probably the bonuses are less and all this
mhm,
stuff. Because there's things that you can do that will make your life more secure and give you comfort, right?
mhm,
Like I said, like you see this thing happens, maybe my job has good benefit. Some jobs are terrible. People, mothers who have children, and the next month they are forced to put them in a daycare. Some daycares are, trust me, you don't even want, and they are regretting it, but they have to go make the money. And I'm saying that instance, the mother, if the option was available, the mother could stay home like a year. I think they should stay home for a year and be with a child and provide the best nurturing more than the daycare could ever do. And so when that will increase, the benefit will be for the mom, the benefit will be for the child, and the benefit for the fathers. And when you see that, you'll be happy. Now, if they're forced to go out, that may limit. So all of this is the choices you are going to make with the resources you got. And some of the choices are gonna be not gonna it's gonna be headache, it's gonna be problematic. But some of them can actually enhance your comfort, your security, your safety, and give you a peace of mind, which is happiness.
So Tori, so like again, I think what you're saying, what I'm saying is the same thing. So the more money you have, the more security you have, the more things you're able to do, right? The less money you have, the less options you have, the more things you're able to do, right?
mhm.
I'm
Yep.
putting two together, right? So
Yep.
obviously, the more money you have, the more security you have. So
Yep.
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? So having more money, like who doesn't like money? You know what I'm saying? Well, all I'm saying is that it doesn't mean it makes
Mhm.
you happy. Like that's the
No, no,
whole.
no. No, I'm saying it's not saying it's going to make you happy.
I'm
I'm
just
saying
about
the
the question.
choices
This is
is the choices.
I'm just talking about the question. What the one that
Yeah, yeah, so there's a correlation. So basically, the correlation is like if you have wealth, could that increase your happiness? Yeah,
of
depending on
course.
the choices you make. Yeah, you have more
You
options.
know, I see that. I think that's why I want to clear up. I'm not
Yeah.
saying if you have more money, then you have more reasons to. If you're not happy, you have other options to get change that to happiness. You try to find it. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe you trying to even go to therapy, right? But you don't. You want the best therapist, but you can't afford a
Listen,
therapist because
just
it's
because
$150 an hour.
just because you go to therapy doesn't mean you know hope. You know
You
what I'm
have something
saying?
else. You have something else. Let's move on to second question.
Like that's not, like, going to therapy is not gonna find you happiness, man.
Does success bring happiness, or is it happiness that brings success? So there's the accomplishment. Like let's say you graduate from college, you get a job that your dream job, you are moving up the ladder if that's your thing, or you open the businesses is thriving. Is that what that brings you happiness, or you have to be happy person in order to be successful, in order to pursue that success? What do you guys think?
Man, I think
This, my questions are not easy. Oh, they are tough.
no. But this is how okay. So this question is very interesting to me because just because you're successful at work doesn't mean like it equals up to being happy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
oh dear. You are successful, but you
No, let me explain. You can be successful at work and be
And
have
miserable at home.
yeah. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
okay,
work, the only way
okay.
you escape from the real world after work. You are kicking back and drinking 12 packs all night because you're just not happy with your life. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
just use the work thing as an example. It doesn't gotta be work.
you're bomb. You are. Listen, I'm saying this. Listen, for example, like when you start working, obviously I think you'll be happy. You go to college, you get a good job, you start making money. You'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? Most people will be happy. It's like, okay, you're seeing the fruits of your labor. You know, so it's good to see. You know, because a lot of people go to college, and then you see them working jobs that they could have worked, that they're not going to college for. You know, so
Mhm.
if you're one of those people that are blessed enough to get a good job, then obviously you're gonna get happy. But what I can say is that that thing that you're looking for, that happiness, that good job, comes with the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. When you finish your house,
Uh-huh.
right, with all the sacrifices you made,
Uh-huh.
and then the first night you wake up and you see this nice modern mansion for a guy your age, and all the work, all the distraction you had to put aside, and you wake up, are you gonna be feel a sense of happiness, or what? Just tell me.
Uh, to be honest with you, I don't think I feel happiness. I feel a sign of relief.
We're gonna sell your house.
No, this is why I said because when
He'll be happy until he looks across the street and see the neighbor still doing, crazy things.
You'll be happy.
no, let me tell you, no. I'll be more relieved than happy. Let me explain. Because
Okay,
because
we can
because listen,
forget about the semantics of the happiness. Anytime you feel a feeling
let
of,
me speak. Oh, you let me
okay,
speak.
go ahead,
Tell me
go
how I
ahead,
feel. All
go
right.
ahead, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that I'll be relieved because that you're taking a serious financial risk doing these kind of things. So seeing that you're able to complete it will make me feel relieved. That, okay, wow, I was able to complete something. Because if I don't complete it, then I look like a fool. You know what I'm saying? So it's more pressure
Mhm.
just to complete than to be more happy. You know what I'm saying? After time, I'll be more like, okay, wow, I can after I can relax and take that deep breath that I'll be able to complete. Then I can be able to enjoy the house, obviously. But honestly, for me, it was like it's something just to see if I can do it or not. You know,
So basically, you are pursuing accomplishment, right? That's the
exactly. It's not like it's not gonna.
Yeah, but that okay, that'll be a sign of success, though, right?
Yeah.
That'll
So
be success.
yeah.
So if so, I mean, and we're playing with words now. Relief. Um.
I'll
So
be
the
more relieved.
happiness,
Listen, I'll
the
be
the
more.
happiness is positive energy. So anything, whether relief,
Listen,
whether
I'll be
comfort, whether
more.
joy, is the same thing.
I'll be more relieved than happy. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why it's like, again,
But
doing.
okay, but you are not going to be unhappy.
Oh, of course not.
Okay, then you're gonna be happy. Now what? And the same thing with Eric, right? No, because you know why?
Because
Because this question, because it's deep. Is it happiness? Because most of the time, the things that you need to do to become successful, you ain't gonna be
Mhm,
happy about that.
that's what
mhm,
I'm
If you need to
asking.
lose
mhm,
weight, you ain't gonna be happy about that. If you
mhm.
need to,
Well,
building is
well,
no joke.
the weight loss, you might be happy when you do it, but it's not easy to do it,
That's
right?
I'm saying like in the process, right?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the
You
process.
have to
That's
put in
what
the
that
work. Yep.
yes, put in the work. It's not hey, it's easier eating donut. I mean, it's easier eating donut. That's watching movies. That's
Mm,
much more fulfilling. But in order for you to get that goal, you have to put in the work, which that means that's where you gotta develop the discipline, right?
mhm, mhm,
And so sometimes it's kind of like um the happiness bring that contentment that sometimes you don't want to go forward because you are content. I mean,
mhm,
hey, I don't have to do anything. And so it could be with this question, it could be the sense of accomplishment sometimes can bring happiness, but sometimes when you get there and what you gave up to get there, it's not worth it.
mhm,
It can also go that way.
mhm,
It can also go that way. But I feel also that usually, mostly when people accomplish the goals they've set for and they get there, they maybe they're happy for a day, whatever. But
mhm,
but the sense of accomplishment bring whether you graduate from school, whether it's a parent trying to have that baby for all these years
mhm,
and they get pregnant and then they get a baby. Man, that is like right
mhm.
now the baby start becoming a knucklehead and become a troublemaker. That might that
No,
might dip.
but
So anyway, what do you think, Eric? What do you think about this
Well,
question?
I think yes to both of the questions. I
Okay.
think yes to both of them, right? Because you can play it. This question is, um,
tricky.
right. If you set a task for yourself, right,
Hmm.
and you achieve that task, right, there's this
Hmm.
natural high you're gonna get out of it, right, which will
Yeah.
bring you the happiness, right.
Yeah.
So that's yes for the first side.
Yeah.
In the same vein, you can take someone who is inherently happy, right, and
Yeah.
because they show this positive energy all the time,
Yeah.
right, they are successful in everything they do. Because
Yeah.
look,
Great points.
I would rather go and buy from this person who is always smiling and happy than someone who's selling to me as if they're doing me a favor, right? So it's
Hmm.
yes on both
Hmm.
sides.
Hmm.
Good
It's
point.
yes on both sides.
It,
Well,
it's like buying a new car. You know what I'm saying? I see building house like buying a new car. Like
Okay.
the first couple months it's so cool having a new car. After that, it just becomes a car. You don't even care. It's like getting scratches and stuff, and you don't even want to like okay, I have a car now. That's how I look at my like. That's when I'm doing something. That's how I am. It's like okay, I do something, and then after a couple months, I'm like, oh, okay, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, or it's no longer that. You know, I don't know how other people feel, but
well,
for me,
that's normal, right?
yeah.
That
That,
that is normal. But the first time you buy, you're gonna be happy though.
that's what I
But
was saying about when you asked Julian whether he was going to be happy when he finishes the house, right?
Great
Julian would be like,
points.
okay, I have my Maybach, right? Who parked their Picanto next to me, right?
Yeah, but
It's scratching my door.
I'll record him. He'll be happy. You
Yeah.
watch.
you know, it's
Because not everybody gets there. Not everybody start and finish the journey, man. It's a big
yes,
deal.
it is a big
It's
deal.
a big deal.
It's a huge deal, right?
You know.
Even hitting the stages as you go,
Good
every
point.
single one that you achieve, right? It's like sometimes you sit back and be like, oh wow, we did this in this span,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
oh, we did this in so many months or so many weeks or so many years. That sense of accomplishment, right? Of course, it'll bring you some feeling of happiness for sure,
Yeah,
right?
for a time period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah, for
that,
some
that's
people.
what I always say, right?
We're not saying joy.
Hap-
We're not saying
happiness
for
is fleeting, right? It's a
Yeah,
fleeting state.
it's,
It comes and goes.
it's like
it's a gas that takes you to the next stage.
it's like
Every night you need to buy
up and
gas.
down. It's up and down. It's up and down. Because the thing is that like when you build these homes, man, and the amount of money you put inside these things, and you
Mm.
think back of what you could have done, other things you could have done. Yeah, it's cool. You have a cool big place and stuff like that. But sometimes I'm like, I feel like it's like I didn't have to do all this. You know what I'm saying? I could have
But you know what? Certainty is better than uncertainty. At least you have something to show for it. The other things you could have done may have worked, may have
May
not
have
worked.
never worked.
But
Yep,
at
that's true.
least you see this thing, you be like, yes, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. So you'll be happy. I'll record you.
let's see.
All right, let's move to the third one. Is love of money the root of all evil, or is the lack of money? So is people that want to be successful are the one that are causing problem with the world, or the people that ain't got none who's plotting to take your stuff? So is it the love of it or the lack of it?
I think it's neither. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
neither. All right.
there's good people on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't take like I don't believe in this thing that people that don't have money are scheming to like take out the people that have money.
Mm.
Like most people are not like that. Yeah, there's some people that envy other people.
Mhm.
I think a lot. I think at one point in time, we have envied something about someone before.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
you're honest with yourself, it's
Great.
happened. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the only thing is that between the people that envy and the people that actually go and do something about it, is that we're just not crazy enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
instead of us
Mhm.
like
Good
focusing
point.
on them, we learn to focus on what we're doing and forget about the noise outside.
Mhm.
So the thing, like there's a lot of people that don't have money that don't do bad things. But granted, there are some people that don't have money that do all kinds of things just to make the money. Like they'll kill
Mhm.
someone,
Mhm.
like get into like all kinds of narcotic trafficking,
Mhm.
just to make some dollars.
Mhm. Mhm.
Great
And there's
points.
people that have money that be doing all kinds of things too. Just think more
Yeah,
money, and they have money.
Mhm.
they even do it,
Good
more
point.
amplified.
You know, how
Mhm.
many times you hear rappers that have more, like millions of dollars, or NFL players or athletes doing insurance fraud,
Mhm.
drug trafficking? I'm like, what? They have so
Mhm.
much money, and but see,
Great points.
it's the mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's the individual, not
Those were fake news.
so. I think
Yeah, you wish. Some of them are going to jail.
listen,
We'll see if they're going to fake
For
jail
like
too.
$100,000. I'm like, you kidding me?
listen. I think it's like if you are an individual that are gonna do bad, you're gonna do bad no matter where you are on the spectrum. If you're rich or poor, you have that type of mindset to do bad
Mhm.
things. You're gonna do those things
Yeah,
Good
no
point.
matter what.
You-
it actually
yeah.
makes it easier for you to do it when you reach a certain
Oh
stature.
yeah, because you think you get
You
away.
can get away with it. Yeah,
Yeah, you know, say like,
yeah,
and you get what? You get arrested. You can pay for bail.
yeah.
You can buy a lawyer.
Mhm.
Come on, man. It makes you more like I forgot who it was, but it was a mayor in this guy.
If it's a mayor, it's going to be two states: Chicago, Washington D.C.
But anyway, that's off topic. But yeah,
That's it. Those are where the mayors are going to jail and all that stuff.
Detroit.
Okay, Detroit. Kilpatrick, your boy, Kwame
Yeah,
Kilpatrick.
Kwame Kirkpatrick.
All right. How do I know all these criminals? Anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
But so then the question for you, though, the question for you, is the love of money the root of all evil? Yeah, yeah, to the extreme, yes. The lack of it, yeah. Yeah, shit, you got to survive. You're gonna do what you need to do to survive.
Mm.
The question that becomes, though, let's say you are successful. You know, Eric built that company, sold it, made 500 million. He can manage that for some time. 500 million. You sold it, you made 500 million as well. Will you feel comfortable around rich people or people who ain't got shit?
I will feel comfortable around anyone because honestly, like
Hey,
this is what,
you.
this is what I'm
Go
saying.
ahead.
Like I don't really like. For me, it's not about if you have money, you don't have money. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the character of the person. You know what I'm saying? If
Good
I
point.
feel a vibe that this person is a schemer or this person has bad intentions, if you have money or don't have money, I don't want to be around you at all. You know what I'm saying? It's
Good
like
point.
it's all about the behavior of the person. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a millions of dollars.
Okay, between the two,
So listen,
between the two. So this is no, no.
let me
Don't give me the PC answer.
let me explain.
Because
Let me
when people make money, they go back to the neighborhood. You know how it's turning out.
yeah. So that's what my
You
point
know how
is.
it's turning out. They're
This is my,
getting killed.
this is my point.
So go ahead.
At the same time, I wouldn't go and build like a 30,000 foot mansion in like a slum area. I mean, that's my you know what I'm saying? Because that's
No,
just.
but you don't have to do anything. They know you got the money. Just being in the proximity alone.
But
Yeah,
what I'm saying is that
yeah.
yeah, you put yourself in danger. Obviously, like you know what I mean. If people are going through hardship and you are worth a bazillion dollars and you like putting it in their face, yeah,
Mhm.
something bad might happen to you. Yeah, chances that are really high. Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like friends
Okay.
that don't have what you have, that are struggling, and you're not helping them out, they might
Mhm.
look at you a certain way. Of
Mhm.
course, those are things that happen when you have money.
Well, the reason I posed that question was because the billionaires have a club. They at least have a club exclusive to them. They might compete in terms of businesses and technology, trying to stuff like that. But chances are it will be dumb if Jeff Bezos is sending somebody to go kill Warren Buffett, right? Right? It's like I don't think when they hang around, he's worried about that. Now they might be worried about, Jeff Bezos might be worried about, Elon Musk stealing technology, right? Or something like that. But his life. But when you hang around certain people when they have nothing, trust me, there's a
Yeah,
possibility there. Not all of them, but there's a possibility.
but that's why
Yeah,
Right.
I
yeah.
said
It's like being pushed, like being pushed into a corner, right? The human instinct will do whatever it needs to do to survive, right? That's just it's granted, right? Um, you make someone super desperate, like Julian was saying, right? You start off in a neighborhood, you amass wealth, right? And you come and you flaunt it. You've forgotten that you used to be around the same neighborhood with these people, and you're not giving them any of it. You're not even maybe giving them a way out of their mess. Even you have all the opportunity to do so. You have all the resources to be able to do that, and all you're doing is every day driving a new car. Of course, they're gonna hate you, right? So that basically pushes someone who's desperate to say, you know what, I wish I have a fraction of what he has. He's not gonna give it to me. I'm gonna take it, right? But at the same time, we also have people who are rich, who have you know more than who are already in the top 1%, right? But still want more
Mhm.
and will do evil things to get it,
Yeah.
right? So this
Good
is
point.
one of those questions where you can find a spot on either side of it. And if you were to say
Mhm.
which side weighs more, I couldn't even tell you, right? I couldn't tell you because there are a lot of people, living in poverty and living in poverty together because they have this quote unquote common problem, right? They all don't have.
But okay, then Eric is um the evidence shows that there's more crime,
Mm,
violent crime
mhm,
in poor neighborhood, regardless of race. Okay.
mhm,
Um, Even the gangs that
mhm,
form in poor neighborhoods are much more violent
mhm,
because it makes sense. Lack of resources. It makes sense. You
mhm.
see that in species.
Yeah.
Species will fight when there's lack of resources.
Mhm,
So that makes sense. And also sometimes too, I see this like that there have been people from our community who've made it, left, came back, trying to do something in the neighborhood, and they got killed.
mhm,
Right. And so sometimes it's like it's not that some don't go do anything. They go and trying to flaunt a lifestyle. That's stupid, right? But sometimes they have been cases that people actually have gone back and try to, develop the neighborhood and create opportunity. Nipsey Hussle, one of them.
mhm,
Um, and and they got killed because I think for me I think a person who's desperate, who doesn't have anything
mhm,
has a lot of motivation, right? Than than the person who has more and greedy.
Mm,
Because to the one who doesn't have anything, it's almost like life and death,
mhm,
right? It's like life and death to them. That one I will rank, they're both dangerous, but I'll rank that person a little bit because when you are desperate, you would do anything pretty much, and it wouldn't matter because it's a life and death situation.
mhm.
When you are greedy, there's certain things that maybe you might not want to cross in a sense that uh, if you get caught, you have something to lose a little bit.
Mhm.
But if you're desperate, you have nothing to lose. It's like, listen, you have nothing to lose pretty much. You don't own anything. You don't own anything. So it's the only thing you own probably your life, which you've decided it doesn't matter in a way. And so I would slightly, if I'm given, between the two, I would say the lack because I think greed is not going to push me extreme. The lack will put me in the stream. If I need to feed my family, oh, it's going down. Then whatever needs to happen is going to happen. But if I have some and I want more, then it's kind of like the intensity might be less because I do got some.
No,
I
but
still want more.
what about I have it, I want more, and I have the way to have other people do my mess for me. We see that all the time,
Yeah, but
right?
but the thing is though, if you get caught, right? So if you get caught, let's say 100% is the max. You have 50%. You
Okay.
want another 50, right?
Hmm.
Let's say you don't succeed, then you lose the 50.
Hmm.
Now, if you 100, you have zero. If you get caught, you ain't got nothing. So it really like it really does. And that you see, people that have more at stake tend to behave a little bit rational than people who doesn't have anything because I don't have anything. It's pretty much it's like it doesn't matter what happened to me because I ain't got nothing.
Hmm.
I don't have anything. But when you have something, there is that little bit of something saying that, man, if it doesn't work, if this plan doesn't work, you lose a lot of things. So the greed, either way, you're gonna take some action, unless the greed is so obsessive and so bad that like you're like on a suicide mission. But if you don't, and one guy told me, he said back in Africa when they did coup, right? When they did coup, there's an age mate they selected. They got 18 to about 25-year-old men. You know why? They don't have kids, they don't have family. You're not gonna take a 45-year person in the military. He's trying to go to retirement.
Hmm.
He's not gonna get involved in this stuff, right? He said, I'm 5 years from retirement. I'm not gonna do this. So
Yeah.
you find that young people who high testosterone, right, don't have anything pretty
Yeah.
much. They are motivated to turn them around. That somebody who's looking at a life say, man, 5 more years and I'll be sitting at a nice place. I don't want to destroy the stuff. So I think for me, if I'm rating it between the two, I will say the people that lack might be slightly a little bit motivated to actually, you know, take some action. All right, let's see. This fourth question is good. All right. What is more important to you? I know Julian is not gonna say happiness, but what is more important to you? Your sense of happiness? Because if you're not happy, can you make people happy? Can you give something you don't have? Or the sense of duty, which is it shouldn't matter whether it's happy or not, is the obligation and you must do it. It doesn't matter whether you don't want to raise that child, but damn it, uh, you could have done other methods, which is different topic. But now the kid is here. You are fully responsible. We don't need a state to tell you are responsible. It's the duty and obligation for a parent to raise their children, regardless if the mom is sick or whatever. She should obviously with a thought anyway. That's a different topic. But there is happiness because in that time you were happy. Now, what do you
Fleeting.
think?
You see, happiness is fleeting. Keep telling you, happiness is fleeting. You were
So
happy.
what is which one is more important?
You're happy until the burden came. And I
Right.
okay, so I think I will take duty, um, because I feel like if you take your duties seriously, right? Um, I hope you are not tasking yourself with something that um, you are forced to do that will make you unhappy, right? As a human being, when you make certain decisions, the outcome you have to bear, you have to own it, right? Doing
Great
that
point.
duty and making sure that you're doing it with everything you have, right, will bring you some sense of happiness, and it might even transfer not only to the people around you, but whomever else you might impact or they might impact, right? That 6 degrees of separation thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think and 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 happiness, like I say, is always fleeting, and because it's fleeting, it's not guaranteed the next second, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I do my duty and I can go back and say,
Great points.
oh, I did that, right,
Mm-hmm.
and I can pinpoint something that I did, right, I'll always
Mm-hmm.
have that sense of, you know, that sense of, fulfillment, right? That happiness comes with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you
Good
if
point.
you are so bent on being happy, you might like rub people the wrong way just to get your happiness. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that's the way to go. I'll rather choose
Great points.
doing good duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fulfilling it and doing it well. So someone can say, like, oh, who did that? Oh, Eric did it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Good point.
Right? Versus I'm trying to be happy and I'm making everyone else's life miserable around me.
Mm.
Right? My happiness is in going to sit at the pub and drinking all evening and doing whatever with whomever I see at the pub every other day or every night. While my kids are at home wishing I was there so they could be happy around me. Makes no sense.
Mm.
Right? I rather
Great points.
I rather fulfill my duty, do it well, do it with everything that I have, and hope that in doing it, I get some happiness from it, and the people around me get it too.
I think the questions we ask on this podcast are dope. What do you guys think?
And I think they're good questions.
I think they are very deep because sometimes not a cutthroat. You know, this I think I want to hear what Julian has to say. Maybe he might stick with happiness this time.
Um, for me, the question happiness and duty, I think they coincide together.
Are you sure though?
Yeah, I think so. Because
No,
this,
but some people's like the
for
duty
me,
as a responsibility as a parent. Some people saying that not doing the duty actually make them happy by
they,
being irresponsible.
but okay, that's everyone has their own like the definition and their own way of living too. You know what I'm saying? I can't really say that's wrong. So, but for me, I gotta speak for me personally. I
Okay.
would say that like take care of your duty brings happiness to me. You know what I'm saying? That was
Mm.
like how can I
Good
be
point.
happy if I'm not taking care of my responsibility? It
Mm.
makes no sense. You know what
A
I'm
happy,
saying?
a
Mm.
happy, a happy bum.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, you have those
Great
too.
point.
it's like I got a Range Rover, but my house is gonna be foreclosed on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it don't make any sense. It's like what do you do? Like you know what I mean? Like right? Like it's crazy. It's like how can you be happy and not take care of your responsibilities? Like
Mm,
like especially responsibilities that you have created for yourself. No one's
yeah,
doing it. Like
yeah.
like so. For me personally, take care of your responsibility equals for me happiness. I mean, when I say
Mm.
responsibilities, I'm talking about take care of your work, family, health, etc. You know what I mean? Being part of society, and you know what I mean?
Great
Not
points.
being a burden of society.
Mm,
That should make you happy. You know, but if you
Mm.
if you want to be happy
Good point.
and then not take care of responsibilities, then okay, in your mind you might be happy, but I don't think like it's just irresponsible. Like
yeah.
and that's what being happy. Like life is not all about being happy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
like if everyone just want to be happy, then bro, the roads won't be done, trash won't be picked. Like there's things that you have to do. You know what I mean? That's not gonna make you happy, but at the end of the day, it has to be done. I think that's the big difference. Happiness is for children, man. Adults, you can be happy, but you gotta sacrifice. And if you don't want to sacrifice, just be happy all the time. Then you live in a la la land. Everyone has to sacrifice to
Mm.
be happy.
Good point.
Okay, before I put my submission, another question for you two. Do you think though, because I feel like this question,
I want to be happy. I want to be
major,
happy. What are you, a child? Like,
I
what do you
think
want all the
majority
time?
of people will lean towards one side. I think most people would. The question is though, um, when we say duty, do you
Mhm,
think people, both men and women,
mhm,
understand what their duty is? Right. So the question is, do they understand it and they're not doing them, or sometimes they don't know in a sense that, for example, like not, we made assumption what Wednesday we talk about the common sense, right? Which is not common, right? And so maybe if you if you had a father figure, or sometimes the father was there but not really there, they were physically present,
mhm,
but that's what they were used for. But if you had a role model, whether mom or dad or an uncle, that show you the sense of responsibility, right? It's easier for you to grow up knowing that, hey, when you have the baby, you don't need a government to tell you to pay child support.
mhm,
You're supposed to take care of the baby.
mhm,
There's no debate about this one.
mhm,
It's your baby. If we can prove genetically it's yours, you're gonna raise that thing.
mhm,
You're gonna contribute your fair share of that. And so, if the person, so the people that seek happiness and not handle their responsibility, duty, is it a question of do they know what the duty is, or they don't know, or do they know the duty that they're not doing it, or because they just don't know?
So,
What do you guys think?
I
so
think yeah, there are people in every single bucket that you
yeah.
just
So
created.
some do know the duty, but they say, no, F
Here's the
it,
question.
I
Yeah.
don't care. And
There.
some people don't know.
Mhm,
So, can I ask you a question?
Yep,
Okay. So you have a house, right?
I think so.
You have a mortgage, right?
Yep.
You know what time to pay your mortgage?
Hmm.
Okay. So you know what time to pay your mortgage, and you don't pay your mortgage. That's a choice, right?
mhm.
Yep.
Okay. I think that goes here. Like
But
if
I'm
you
going to the concert. I'm going to the concert. I get like VIP seating, so I'm using the
so
mortgage.
you chose. So listen, you chose to be happy over your doing what you got to do. So
So I
like
chose to be happy to be unhappy later.
listen.
You chose to be happy to go get someone spill drinks on you, stomp on your feet, and insult you, and then you come back and you still haven't paid your
And
mortgage.
lose hearing. Yeah, but this is the thing. Again, how can you not know your responsibilities? You know, at what point?
No, it's not clear truth, man. It's like common sense, man.
Yeah,
Google
it's
it,
not.
right?
It's not cutthroat. It's not. Like you see, the thing is,
What do
there are
you mean?
no, no. But Julian, listen. There are people, right, who get thrust into a situation, right,
Uh-huh.
that they were not ready for, right.
Hmm.
They might say, "I'm trying to do the best I can," but they don't really know what a duty is,
Yep. Yep.
right? There are people like that that
Hmm.
maybe through no fault of theirs
Good
got
point.
forced, quote unquote, maybe into forced into motherhood, right?
Hmm.
You know, let's forget about the backstory or whatever. But they are here now.
Yep.
A teen mother doesn't know, how to even completely take care of themselves yet.
Great
Now
point.
they're mothering a kid, right?
Hmm.
Someone like that, you get people who have a good heart, have good
Hmm.
intentions. Okay, this is the mess I'm in. I'm going to try to do the best for me and for this offspring. But
Yep.
they can't do it because they're not even
They,
equipped to do it.
But
hmm.
that's
Good
different,
point.
though. Listen,
So you do have that.
Yeah, you have
listen.
that.
But Eric, if you know you have a child and you're doing your best you can to take care of your responsibility, aren't you basically taking care of your? It's like what I'm saying is,
No,
listen,
no,
No,
but
no,
sometimes the
no.
decision making might be off.
you have a
Yeah, you
child.
see, Julian, somebody will say, okay, I got myself in this situation, right? I'm going to drop everything, right? And be the best mother or father to this child,
Uh-huh.
right? Fulfilling the duty, right? That might not bring them happiness in the interim, but as time goes on, when they see this child flourish, they're going to gain some sense of accomplishment from it, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
people are able to go back and accomplish what got cut short, but not everyone
Mm-hmm.
is able to go back.
Oh yeah, but again,
Great points.
that's choices you make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but for some people, it's not
Mm.
really a choice though. Some
what do you
people,
mean it's not a choice, Eric?
to,
Is
to
there circumstances? Is there
circumstances, man,
circumstances
it's
that
not always a
okay,
choice. Now,
like for example,
So
let me give you an example. Let's say you see this situation, right? You see this thing. And I'll use Ghana for example. You have a situation, the mom is home, the father was the breadwinner, right? They have a son. The boy is 10, 11 years old. The father dies. The son must now take the obligation to be a father by providing.
mhm,
And sometimes you see the son on the street selling.
mhm,
They do all kinds of stuff. That is not a choice. That is just the circumstances.
yeah,
You know, they find
yeah,
themselves in now
they go thrust into
to
that role.
tell a boy to be a man, to handle the responsibility of running a home. That is harsh, man. That is because if they do it well, they lose their childhood. They lose so many things. But chance that they don't have the skills, they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge, and people do all kinds of stuff trying to
Mhm,
provide for their family.
mhm,
So I say for most people, there's a choice. But there's some circumstances that it's
yeah,
like, man, it's a hard thing. I
I,
wouldn't want that,
yeah,
right? So sometimes it happens that way. So before I put myself, so duty, obviously duty, and so for me, the way I look at duty is like, dude, it has nothing to do with happiness. You know, it's a responsibility, and you do it. And sometimes when doing the duty, you find happiness. But
mhm,
if you don't find happiness, it's the responsibility you still do. That's what you're supposed to do.
mhm,
Um, and so that is why I always say this. I always say this like, bringing unplanned children is going to change your life.
mhm.
I mean, if you care, it's going to change. But if you just don't care, you run away. That's a different thing. But
Well,
if
it changed your
you,
life because you ran away.
yeah, the popo will get you. But so the certain decisions that I think that it should not be taken lightly because now it's not just your life; it's just others people's
Hmm.
life. Who didn't co-sign
Yeah,
this
exactly.
circumstances, and so those things are very 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 important. There's certain things you can recover, and certain things becomes permanent. And if you don't do the right job, you damage, and it's repetitive. And so the sense of duty, I think that I remember when I was in GSS, my uncle, who I looked up to at that time, he would actually teach me, because my dad was in the US at that time. So he was kind of like the father figure, and we would take rice and he would show me what a man's supposed to be like, what he's supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. He said you're going to be carrying a lot on your shoulders, but embrace that challenge. And so these things are very, very important because other than that, you may be influenced by all kinds of people about what you're supposed to do. And sometimes you think you are doing your duty, but you're doing the wrong duty,
Hmm.
right? And so, because when people don't know sometimes not doing anything is better than you not knowing what you do and making up stuff and say, oh, do this. Okay, try this one, right? And so it's like I would say, the duty actually will be more important. 10 out of 10, I'll pick duty um, over happiness. And if you're doing the right duty, I think by default you find some happiness in there too. Um, I mean, if
You,
you're raising your kids, you're not happy. That's
you might even find joy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and stuff like that. So I agree with duty. Okay, we're on duty now. Forget happiness. Now this one though, this one I really want to tackle this one. Does emotional intelligence impact a person's success? So emotional intelligence meaning having the right emotions because you don't live in a world by yourself. So it could be sometimes even in a relationship, right? We've seen videos of, unfortunately,
Hmm.
sometimes successful people,
Hmm.
and they are dating some girl and they are beating the girl up and they're throwing them across the room. We've seen videos of that, and so then everything they've built, so the greatness, but then they have this side of them,
Hmm.
and so Now, maybe the girl did something. Whether she was warranted to be beat down, I don't think that calls for that. I mean, I don't think how you can justify that. But maybe the question also be the emotional intelligence could also be that. I mean, if you're a man and you are dating somebody and you feel like beating them, maybe you should get out of the relationship
Hmm.
because you should not be feeling that way,
Hmm.
right? You should not feel that way in a sense that like the person that you are with, you feel like you have to harm them, right? Or because maybe sometimes not a right fit. Let it go. You know,
Hmm.
let a booty go. There's always another booty. Nowadays you can even buy some. Um, so and so my thing is that the emotional intelligence could be in your pursuit to success, or sometimes when you've been successful and then you go do something, or people will bait you.
Hmm.
They'll bait you because you have more at stake and they don't. They'll bait you to do something out of character. So my thing is that how important is the ability to manage so your emotional intelligence in all aspect of your life? How is that important to success? Would that impact that or it doesn't matter? Just be smart.
Impacts is a whole lot, right?
Okay.
Because if you are emotionally intelligent, right,
Hmm.
you go into, you know, each encounter, right,
Hmm.
having yourself in check. You don't react to people just because they did something, right?
Hmm.
Right. So are you able to, in a situation where you're dealing with people who are serious Debbie Downers, right?
Hmm.
Serious
Hmm.
Debbie Downers. If you have the ability to self motivate, then you don't need their words, right? Because you've
Correct.
already pumped yourself up that I can do this,
Good
right?
point.
Correct.
If you are having a bad day,
Hmm.
right, and you're emotionally intelligent, maybe you postpone that meeting until you get off that little, you know, hump, instead of
Yeah.
going into the meeting, bent out of
Good
shape and
point.
then blowing an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
um so I think, you know, to be successful, like I one of the things that I believe we do a lot is we throw words around, and I'm not just saying us on the podcast, it's just a general thing,
Hmm.
as human beings, right? We
Hmm.
call people successful, right? Because
Correct.
on the face it looks like they are, right?
Correct.
But a lot of these people, if you ask them and they were being
Great
true to
points.
you, they'll be like, no, I'm
Hmm.
I'm I'm, I'm not, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
so it's easy to see someone's, highlight reel and
Hmm.
say, man, they're doing good,
Hmm.
right? You don't know the fight they got into before that highlight reel was taken. You don't know that.
Yeah.
I feel
Good
like
point.
if you have, you know, if your goal is to excel at everything you do, you need to have your emotions in check, right? Because not
Yeah.
everything is going to go your way. Things are going to
Yeah.
get thrown at you, right?
Yeah.
Because the road to success is not this wide
Great
road.
points.
It's crooked, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get things, blindsided, stuff like that. So you have to be able to check yourself emotionally, right? And
Hmm.
to be able to do that, you need to be able to know your own emotions, understand them, right?
Yeah.
And be able to regulate, you know,
Good point.
like they say, be the thermometer, not a temperature, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you can, if you can control that emotional intelligence, right, then it steers
Hmm.
your success, right? If you
Yeah.
can't, your success will be, cut short. So yes, it
Great
it
points.
truly impacts it. I think it's one of the best things that can prop you up or break you if you don't have it.
Good. Good point. What do you think, Jay? Mr.
Good
J?
point.
I think emotional intelligence, yeah, emotional intelligence, you end up in jail or dead.
Or dead.
No, seriously.
Shots fired.
I don't think it's having to do anything with the success. This is a general purpose and like you know what I mean? Like anything you gotta be emotionally stable, I would say. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And
Hmm.
we all get the point where
Great
you're so
points.
frustrated and you know what I mean, you want to do some things, but you have that emotional intelligence to like not do what you feel like doing. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
wanna you
Hmm.
wanna you wanna put a
Good
blow in
point.
in that concrete wall in Oyarifa, only to realize that it's concrete, not plasterboard.
Oh, some people have done that.
Yeah, you see, but instead, I go get see emotional intelligence kicks in. I go take a walk and I come back tomorrow.
Exactly. That's the way to do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like emotional intelligence, man, I think it's like it's fundamental to have.
Hmm.
It's a necessity.
Yep.
You can't be successful without being emotionally intelligent. Because listen, even when it comes to success, even when it comes to running a business or anything, you're gonna have your ups and downs. If you can't keep your emotions
Hmm.
together, how are you supposed to
Good point.
do anything?
Hmm.
Like if things go wrong and you break down and you become like you know like you want to end your life and stuff like that. I'm not saying
Hmm.
like exact extreme, but like you gotta be able to keep it together. Even when it's so bad that you can't keep going anymore, you gotta be able to live another day. You know what I'm saying?
Great
And if you don't
points.
have those type of like mentality to in the grit, I would say,
Hmm.
to push on, then you're
Hmm.
not going to be successful. I don't care how smart or how athletic. You've seen this too. Like you've seen, like even when it comes to sports, the person is a great athlete, but their mental capacity is not there, so they can't. They they either get so
Good
out of
point.
they have to leave the league,
Hmm.
or they just never meet the potential because they have other things blocking them
Hmm.
emotionally
Hmm.
from being be able to perform.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yep.
How can you
Hmm. Hmm.
when you're dealing with these,
Great points.
I
Yep.
would say, you know, so like you got to be able to put that in check. And I think it's upbringing can if your parents are able to shape and be able to put instill that into you as a child, it'll only make you stronger and better. But at the same time, I feel like it's not even an upbringing. Even because people that go through rough upbringings are, I think, have better emotional intelligence because they've been through so much and
Good
Hmm.
point.
so they're able to push on. So
Hmm.
I definitely think that it's a thing that can be learned, but by experience, you can learn to get over those things. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
overcome. I would say.
So, emotional intelligence. I think it's even more important than IQ,
Yeah.
because let's say if you have somebody who has high IQ, no emotional intelligence, with somebody with high emotional intelligence,
Hmm.
the emotional intelligent person can manipulate the IQ person
Hmm.
and just put him on a self-destruct, right? And so, and I also think too, sometimes um, people is temperament. Sometimes people are like that, right? If you have multiple kids, you see it, right? You see one of them is like, yeah, they can take stuff,
Hmm.
and the other one you need nurture, right? You need nurture. So some people, so there's some people that are like tough. I say majority is nurture, and then that some people naturally they are very sensitive.
Hmm.
That is, and it's something they have to work through, right? They have to work through, and so, but I think uh, you cannot find joy and happiness, peace, if you don't have emotional intelligence, right? Because then you have highs and lows, right? You go
Hmm.
high, and then you drop low. No, it's like no, I think like this thing is probably, if you're going to navigate through life and get your goals accomplished and get to a sense of joy and fulfillment, I don't think you can do without this.
Yeah, well, one of the things you have to be able to do, like to put your, like the your emotional quotient, if we can call it that, right?
Yeah.
At the high is being self-aware, right? Knowing
Hmm.
that I'm
Hmm.
having a
Hmm.
bad day today, right?
Yep.
Knowing
Yep.
knowing
Yep.
that I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, so that business meeting, maybe I need to push it, right? Because I
Yep.
might go
Yep.
there and not be in the right frame of mind, right?
Yep.
If you're not self-aware, you're going to put yourself in
Great
situations
points.
where you are at a disadvantage going in because you just didn't
Yep.
realize how vulnerable you are going into that situation.
Yep. And I also think too is like, I mean, if there's any tips, whatever and stuff like that, is I also think too is like, not everything is personal, and not everything is is There are few things that are really critical, life and death in life. Most of the things are not. Most of the decisions we make every day has nothing to do with life and death. It's not like we're on the cliff and then we take one step and then you die. Most of the things are like in the middle. And also to knowing also to your limit in terms of saying, okay, listen, everybody has a burnout. Like when you go your goals and you try to accomplish, you get to a point you're gonna get burned out.
Mm.
And you have to find time to calm yourself down and maybe step back a little bit to diffuse yourself. Because other than that, man, it's like, especially with COVID, right? If you listen to the COVID every day, oh, this one is tough, this one is going better, is stronger than Delta. No, it's not stronger than Delta. This one we need less shot. That alone is enough just to ruin your day, right? And so at any given point, so many things are there. Some are external, some are, domestic and stuff like that. So I think that the ability to say, no big deal. This one I'm gonna block. This one I'm gonna let it slide. This one I'm absorb. It's just regulating. You really have to be regulating what you take in, what you don't take out, what you don't care about. Because if you take everything in, oh hell no. You like I don't think you'll be able to even, because when you are emotionally down, you don't do a lot of things right. Even the bedroom is weak. That's what they say, right, Julian? But so and so it's like, I think is to me, I think this is even more important than IQ. If you are going to navigate through life in all the people you are going to encounter with, some awesome, some not awesome, and in between, you have to be able to regulate and get to more like a balance instead of high and low, high and low, high and low, high and low. Or your lows are too long and your highs are too short, right? And
But
so I think if you somehow skip and be successful and you don't have emotional intelligence, you are one step away from losing everything. You are one bad episode of just losing it because maybe somebody called you a name or somebody says something and then it takes you over the edge. And then that little thing you did cost you so great. So I think it's critical. It's critical. Anyway, you guys have nothing to add. So thank you to What a Lady, thank you. And Meta, thank you for joining us. Esther Logan, thank you. A lot of people are building here. I think all these people are building.
Nice.
Thanks for Friday night for just so if you're building, keep building. It's not easy, but you can do it. All of us are doing it. So hang in there. It gets better. And then keep plugging at it, and eventually it's going to happen. But we appreciate you taking your Friday to spend Friday night with us. You could have been some date somewhere, but we appreciate you spending the time, with us. So tomorrow I have a podcast. I'm going to talk about something. So
Something, something.
something tomorrow. I think what am I talking about? The building, the Kaswa stuff, and then now and the differences and stuff like that.
Mm.
The mental growth in the process and stuff like that. So, all right. See you guys tomorrow.